Hello and welcome to the Monday Agenda. The Monday Agenda today is highly delighted, very motivated to actually have this interview with the ambassador from the Islamic Republic of Iran here in Tanzania, Ambassador Hossein Alvandi Behine. Very welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, it's truly a privilege, and I'm sure the viewers of the Monday Agenda will be really keen and interested to learn a little bit more about Iran, the bilateral relationship about Iran, but the perception of many people, when they think of Iran, they are still stuck in that world where probably Iran is a no-go zone. Now we have you on the interview, and then you'll probably bring to light how beautiful this country is. Myself, I really am looking forward to visiting Iran very soon. Your Excellency, I understand you've been in Tanzania for now about 1.5 years. So how do you describe your stay so far?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum to your audience. Thank you very much, first of all, for giving me this opportunity, for having this interview and talking to the good people of Tanzania. Of course, it's about 1.5 years that I've been here, as you said. During this last 1.5 years, I found this country very safe, beautiful, and very good people, friendly people, and very interesting places to visit. So altogether, I can say that I found Tanzania fantastic.
Excellent. And have you been to some regions in Tanzania?
Yes, some regions like Dar es Salaam and the places around Dar es Salaam and Dodoma and other places. But my plan is to visit places that like Ngorongoro or Serengeti and these places very soon, inshallah.
Okay. Zanzibar?
Zanzibar, I've been there several times.
Okay.
Yes.
And how do you find generally the people of Tanzania?
As I said, the people of Tanzania are very friendly and we feel safe. It is very good. And also the area and the country is very beautiful. So I think it is very interesting for me. For the first time I've been in a country in Africa.
Is that so?
Yes, I've been in South and East Asian countries for working, of course, not been there. Maybe 16 years I've been there.
Okay, as an ambassador.
But different missions. First, I started from third secretary.
Okay.
So to the ambassador. My last post was ambassador of Iran in Vietnam about 10 years ago.
Okay.
But this is the first time I've been posted in Africa. So this is, I think, very important for me because Iran considers Tanzania a very important country in East Africa. And we have a very good history of relation with Tanzania.
Yes, and we are eager. Also, I'm sure my viewers will be very keen to learn. How long has the embassy been in operations here in Tanzania?
Of course, I just wanted to explain this later on, but it's about 40 years.
40 years?
Yes.
Okay.
40 years.
All right. It's about close to 20 years after Tanzania gained their independence.
Yes.
Then you came on board. So the Monday Agenda, Your Excellency, is a platform whereby we speak bilateral, but also keen. As I mentioned, my viewers would be really keen to know your engagement here in Tanzania and opportunities as well, but also to learn more about Iran. So how would you describe, to start the interview, Your Excellency, how would you describe the bilateral relationship between Tanzania and the Islamic Republic of Iran?
Okay. Thank you very much. Once again, I want to appreciate Capital TV for giving me this opportunity. Also, I want to congratulate the people of Tanzania for Eid that recently we had. Also, I want to congratulate the government and the people of Tanzania for all achievement that they had, especially recent years for development, for maintaining peace and stability and rule of law in this country, beautiful country. And in the answer of your question, I just want to touch upon a few points. First of all, I have to mention the history of the relation between Iran and Tanzania back to thousands. of years.
Okay.
And the notable time, what more than 1,000 years ago, that Shirazi came to Zanzibar and the area, coastal area of Tanzania. And after that, about 150 years ago, some Baluchis from Iran came here. And all of them, of course, you know, they were active in all development in this country, in region. And the recent years, after Islamic Revolution in 1979, the first country recognized Iranian revolution from Africa was Tanzania.
Oh, wow.
And the first country that we have established diplomatic relation in Africa after revolution was Tanzania.
Wow.
So it was on the 12th of October 1982 that the foreign minister of Iran and Tanzania at that time, they signed the declaration for establishment of diplomatic relations, and our embassy opened up, and so our diplomatic relations in recent years back to 40 years, and our embassy have 40 years that it's been active here. During all these years, especially these 4 decades, we have been active in different fields. Iran and Tanzania supported each other in international organizations, especially cooperated in non-alignment movement, and also in political affairs and also in economic affairs. Iran, after establishment of diplomatic relation of our then president, Ayatollah Khamenei, that now is our leader, visited Tanzania. And then the then president of Iran, Ayatollah Rafsanjani, twice visited Tanzania, and the ex-president of Tanzania, His Excellency Mr. Hassan al-Moini, visited Iran. So many dignitaries, high-ranking officials during these 40 years has been exchanged between 2 countries. In different fields, we have been cooperating. Iran provided some development assistance for Tanzania. We have sent experts and equipment for helping and to develop rural and needed areas in Tanzania in different projects, small projects, of course. Small dams, the small rural roads, and developing in this area. Also, our Red Crescent was active here to provide some health assistance for Tanzanian people for many years. And so altogether, this is some aspects, and I think it's been shown that Iran has been the friend of Tanzania in the difficult times, and we have been working in all aspects. But the most important points I just wanted to touch upon here is that potentialities for cooperation are much more than this, and we can expand our relation not only in political but also in economic and trade relation, in investment, and also in university and also scientific affairs. We can expand our relations because the potentialities and the mutual interest and the will of the leaders and the interest of the both countries and mutual understanding about many international and regional affairs, and most important one, that both countries want to be independent and non-aligned in foreign relations. Provide a very good opportunity for cooperation and expansion in our relations. We have appreciated very good and long history of good relation between 2 countries.
Excellent. Your Excellency, I've liked the way you've put the analog, bringing the history from Shirazi back in history, 2,000 years.
Yeah.
And
1,000.
1,000 years ago, and the way you've now continued to connect the visits of high level between the countries. And I believe, when high levels, when a president visits Tanzania, when Ali Hassan Mwinyi visited Iran, they went with the entourage of business community and all that for the aspects of establishing not only political, as you rightly said, not only political relationships, but also economical relationships, social, cultural relationships, etc. And at this juncture, Your Excellency, allow me to ask, in what areas do most most our economic and trade ties lie in?
Of course, as I wanted to mention, it depends. Based on the mutual interest of both countries, we can explore and expand our relation, especially in terms of economic affairs. In this section, I just want to mention a few points. As you know, Iran has a very good history of exploration, expansion of oil and gas. Iran, you know, has the second reservoir of the gas in the world, and the third reservoir of the oil in the world. And altogether, Iran is the first country in the world in terms of oil and gas together reservoir in the world. So we have a very good experience for exploring and production and exporting the oil and gas, and also refined oil, petrochemicals, and chemical commodities. This is the first advantage of Iran. And the second one, we can say we have a good experience in different kinds of, for example, in food processing industry, we are good. In agricultural production, we are good. In watering, and also providing technical and engineering services. We are exporting every year more than $5 billion. Iranian companies are involved in other countries for export this kind of services. And also in knowledge-based activities and companies in Iran recent years. We have been very good at growing. And so I think this kind of potentialities shows that we can cooperate much more, and we can expand our economic relation. We can invest in different fields in Tanzania, in agriculture, in mining, in food processing, and other aspects that we have got good experiences and good capabilities. And we can also expand our trade relation, because Iran and Tanzania are not, in terms of trade, competitive countries.
Of course.
We are complementary countries in terms of trade, because most of the commodities that we are exporting, Tanzania, for example, is importing. Most of the commodities that Tanzania is exporting, we are importing. For example, oil and gas refined and production, and or steel and copper production, and chemicals, and fertilizer, and petrochemicals that we are mostly exporting. We can do business and export to Tanzanian market as well. And food processing, you know, Iran, for example, is very well known for exporting saffron, for dates, for pistachio nuts, and also for carpet, that Iran is very well known. So we can export and work on that. And beside of that, as I said, for new commodities that based on knowledge-based companies, production activities, for example, for pharmaceutical, for health section production, for construction materials, like ceramic and other construction materials, for like construction of cement plant and complexes, we can cooperate with each other. So these are some areas we can cooperate more. And beside of that, in cultural affairs, in university cooperation, providing opportunity for students of Tanzania to study in Iran. We have been working, but we can expand that, and also to transfer some good experiences that we have in terms of scientific activities.
Excellent. Your Excellency, when you're speaking about the opportunities that are available, you know, from the moment you mentioned oil and gas, and the whole world right now is, you know, sort of like devastated, including Tanzania, thinking on how can we probably get our oil prices down, because, you know, when the oil prices go up, the cost of living goes up, because you need to use oil or gas, petrol to go to the markets, or to get materials from the farms to the urban areas, etc. So the cost of living has gone up. And I'm happy to, you know, learn, and through the Monday agenda, the policymakers and the government watching the Monday agenda will certainly be keen to say, yes, I think this is another gray area to really look onto. But the aspect of agriculture, as you rightly said, Tanzania is equally an agricultural economy, but we're not looking onto competition, we're looking onto complementing each other.
Yes.
So the areas whereby, you know, Tanzania could get agricultural produce which are not locally available in Tanzania, as well as us, Tanzania, shipping produce that are not readily available in Iran. This is very powerful, and I believe in the very near future, the business communities both in Tanzania and Iran will be able to actually see these as opportunities. During your tenure in Tanzania, to see more businesses exchange between Tanzania and Iran. The education aspect as well, and there's a lot, Your Excellency. Going on to understanding, Your Excellencies, and said at the introduction, you know, many people, when you speak of Iran, I also have an example. I was telling my brother in the recent past that, you know, I'm planning to go to Iran. I was like, you want to go to Iran? I was like, yes, I'm planning to go to Iran. Very soon I will apply for a visa and visit Iran. The perception, Your Excellency, of many people, including my very own brother, has been more of instability in Iran. You know, when people think of Iran, they think of wars, they think of, you know, all sorts of impassable roads because curfews and, you know, apprehension of people and all that. The Monday agenda, Your Excellency, is giving you the opportunity to bring that beauty of Iran to Tanzania.
Yes. Thank you very much for this question. Of course, unfortunately, I have to say that many people in the world, their perception about Iran is based on the propaganda, that is based on the information that's been provided for by other parties or countries that are not reflecting the real situation of Iran. I just want to touch upon a few points about Iran. As you know, Iran is a very ancient country, more than 12,000 history of civilization. At least from 5,000 to 6,000 years ago, we have civilization history from Iran. And beside of that, Iran is geographically situated in a very important place in the world. In the history, Iran was the bridge between East and West, and now even also from North and West, South. And also, as I mentioned about the resources of Iran, Iran is very rich in terms not only from energy section, I mean in terms of oil and gas, also from the mining section, Iran is very rich. I don't want to mention all of them. In terms of the population, Iran is 82 million population, has 82 million population.
Okay.
Iran has the most populated youth educated people in West Asia among the countries around. Also, I want to mention that Iran is the most secure country in the West Asia, the most stable country in the West Asia. I'm sure if you visit Iran, I hope you can take your camera or your people to see the situation. I'm sure your view about Iran is could be quite different. One example, you know, Iran is under sanction for many years, but just recently IMF, International Monetary Fund, report shows that Iran last year became the 20th largest economy in the world in terms of purchase power index. So the GDP of Iran, based on this MIF report, is $1.4 trillion. And you know, the purchase power of Iranian people are very good and strong. So all of them, a stable country, secure situation, and the potentiality of Iran and the the wealth of Iran and the stable government, as I mentioned, and the most important, the educated people of Iran, all of them provided a very good situation for growth. And I'm sure the person who knows Iran well, they know that Iran is a great potential for the economy of the world, especially in terms of the energy section, in terms of oil and gas and other aspects. And also, as you know, in terms of political section, Iran is very stable and secure. And Iran always played a very crucial role to maintain peace and stability in West Asia. In the recent year, without the role that Iran played against ISIS, that was a very extremist group, that you know, this group that nothing to do with Islam. They claim they are having an Islamic government, but without the role that Iran played against them, the situation of the peace and stability and security in Iraq, in Syria, and in our region was quite different and deteriorated. So Iran is secured and played very crucial role to maintain peace and stability and security in our region. And the new government of Iran, Dr. Raisi, that 8 months ago came to the power, the priority in foreign policy of the new government is expand and much more better relation with neighboring countries. You know, Iran has 15 neighboring countries, by land and sea. So the priority of Iran is to expand our relation with neighboring countries. And of course, but as you know, in our region, unfortunately, always we are facing some difficulties. For example, in Afghanistan, you know the situation, what happened during the last 40 years.
Yes.
So in Iraq and Syria, and in the last 10 years, and in Persian Gulf, because this region is very rich in terms of oil and gas, so superpowers always are playing something there. But Iran played its own role to maintain peace and stability, and we are ready to cooperate with other neighboring and regional countries to maintain peace and stability, and to help to the world, for example, including the needed energy that this time the world are showing.
Correct.
Yes.
Oh, wow, wonderful. I want to really reiterate some of the key words you've said, Your Excellency. Iran being the most stable, the most peaceful country. That's powerful. Yes. And I'm happy that I have this opportunity in the Monday agenda to then have you, Your Excellency, to speak about that. Yes. Because, you know, it irons out a lot of you know, the messages that are portrayed by media, which the messages which are not correct about Iran. And I thought, you know, the opportunity for the Monday agenda is vital for you to iron that out. I want to understand, Your Excellency, maybe the plans that the country has to make sure that, you know, this information is going beyond Iran, so people know that it's stable. People know that they can come to Iran and invest or do business, do trade relations, etc., including Tanzania. I do not know. Do we have people from Tanzania doing business in Iran?
You know, one of the problem that difficulties we have with including Tanzania and countries like Tanzania is the lack of information.
Lack of information.
So this lack of information is an obstacle to expand our relations, especially in terms of economic and trade. So I think it's one of the priority of our embassy and our government, and myself, is to provide more information about the potentialities for doing business and cooperation.
Correct. Between
two countries. Unfortunately, we don't have many Tanzanians living in Iran. I don't have any figure, because I think another obstacle is that the Tanzania doesn't have embassy in Tehran.
Okay, all right.
So I think if we can manage to have the embassy of Tanzania in Tehran as well, then both sides can sell their country better.
Okay.
In terms of economic and trade, I think there is very good opportunity. But in terms of Iranian being here, we don't have many, maybe less than 100 people, Iranian people. But if we provide more information and provide more facility for both Iranian and Tanzanian, I think, especially in terms of tourism. You know, as you know better than me, Tanzania is very well known for its tourist attraction. For example, for the Serengeti, Ngorongoro, or other tourism attraction in Zanzibar and other areas. But also, Iran also is a very important in terms of one of the 10th most attractive countries in terms of history heritage.
Wow.
Iran is Iran. You know,
in the world?
In the world, yes.
Oh, wow.
This is based on the international organization evaluation. Iran has got many historical places to visit in different part of Iran, not only, for example, Shiraz or Isfahan or Yazd or Kermanshah or other places. We have even in Sistan, Balochistan, showing the city that about 5,000 years ago that they said this is the first civilized city in the world.
Oh, wow.
So we have many or other places in Hamadan. We have indication for 7,000 years of places or civilization. So this is one aspect. Also, Iran is, you know, very big country with 4-season climate. Every time in Iran, you can find spring and winter and summer and autumn all together.
Is that so?
Yes,
Oh,
you
wow.
can go to some places that is snowing, and at the same time you can find some places very hot.
Okay.
It's because Iran having different climate and different, very big country. In terms of religious attraction, also Iran has got very attractive places in Oman, Mashhad for some people. So in different kind aspects, Iran and Tanzania can provide more information for their citizens to visit each other countries.
Absolutely.
So for many Iranian, Tanzania could be considered a new destination in Africa to be familiar with new aspects of the life and natural places. And also for Tanzanians that are interested to visit, Iran is very good. Both countries are very secure. Both countries are very attractive. So if we can manage to provide facility and more information and to encourage and increase the volume of the tourism between two countries, I'm sure then the trade also gradually will grow.
Certainly.
This is the importance of the people-to-people connection.
Excellent.
Yes.
You are watching the Monday Agenda, and with me in the program today is Ambassador Hossein Alvandi Behine, who is the ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Iran here in Tanzania, and we're looking onto the bilateral relationship between Tanzania and Iran. And I literally am celebrating, I'm honored to not only have an interview with him, but actually have that mouthpiece of Iran to showcase how beautiful, peaceful this country is, and really am eager to certainly personally visit Iran. And I believe after I visited Iran, I will probably look for another interview with you and tell you the experience so that Tanzanians can now really tell that yes, it is. One of the interests I have, Your Excellency, to visit Iran is I've learned and gathered from my sources that you've really advanced in the real estate area. You're capable of building cities in overnights, etc. And I'm very keen on that technology. Maybe that and other areas that Tanzania could probably learn or attract to have establishments here in Tanzania. You would like to share some of the areas where, as a country, we can literally leverage with the relationship that we have with Iran and have them in Tanzania.
Yes, in this regard, as I said, we have good experiences because in the past even we have this experience to build more than 1 million units of apartment for the people per year. And this government also adopted the same policy to, for 4 years to construct 4 million new unit for houses and apartment for the people in Iran to provide, especially for the low-income families. And so this experience could be transferred to Tanzanian side in terms of technology, in terms of management, in terms of providing materials. You know, we are very good and advanced and capable in terms of production of different materials that are used in construction section as well.
Wow.
Okay.
And I really am looking forward to, you know, seeing that. But other than construction, you've mentioned quite a lot of gray areas that are available that Tanzania could tap in. And I hope the business community watching the Monday agenda will take a keen interest to that. And as I said, I will plan to go myself very soon, and I will certainly raise the banners left, right, and center that yes, this is a place to be. Your Excellency, I'm looking on to Iran. You've mentioned about the youth in Iran, very educated, and we struggle in Tanzania with our youth in terms of employment, in terms of, you know, getting them engaged in economic activities. What is it that you do in Iran? I just wish to understand with this big number, educated. So how do you make sure that they're engaged and they're part and parcel of building the economy of Iran?
Yes. You know, one of the priorities after revolution the government adopted in Iran was to provide more opportunity for the people, not only to go to school, but also especially for providing more opportunity for them to educate in university.
Okay.
So before revolution, most of the Iranian students were going to other countries for education because the capacity in Iran for university was maybe around less than 100,000. But now the number of the students at current studying in the university in Iran is 4 million.
Okay.
So you can see the capacity that's been built and explored. So this is something that we have this priority to provide education opportunity for the people. The second one, of course, to develop the country in different fields. Of course, the most area in Iran that in economic affairs it's been invested was in energy section, but also in another section, in construction, in chemicals, in food processing, in different kind of, especially in recent years, we have been very good and encouraging growth of knowledge-based activities and companies in Iran. And then now they are producing a good section of wealth and employment, especially for the educated youth people of Iran, because they are not related only to the producing something for the market of Iran, but also they can work on the world market.
Correct.
And so they are growing very fast. This is another good experience. They are growing very, very good and in good leverage. And so this is another example. So we can provide this kind of experiences for them. Of course, I'm not saying that all educated Iranian youth people are now working. The unemployment is something,
it's global agenda.
Yeah, global
yes.
challenges,
yes.
Especially for Iran that many years under sanction. But we can say, especially for educated person, recently, in recent years, government and provided opportunity for them for this knowledge-based activities, and this even has been adopted by youth people as well.
Okay.
So I think in the world, if we can provide opportunity for the people,
Yes.
they can find a way.
Of course.
Sometimes better than government.
Absolutely. You're right.
To grow and to find better situation for themselves, not only in their own country, but also in the world.
Absolutely. There are so many challenges, and these challenges are looking for solutions, and these are the opportunities. Yes. Your Excellency, I am personally celebrating 40 plus years of relationship between Tanzania and Iran, plus your 1.5 years plus here in Tanzania. How do you, Your Excellency, envisage the relationship going forward between our two countries?
Yes, as I mentioned before, this 40th year of diplomatic relation shows that the history of the relation between Iran and Tanzania, and also that from 4 decades ago, our leaders and people and government had the same and mutual understanding about many international and regional development, and to be independent, to be non-allied in foreign policy. And in recent years, the new opportunity in terms of economic and trade relation, that because both countries are trying to advance, trying to grow, so new opportunities also, I think, has been shown to both of us. So there are many areas for cooperation in terms of investment, in terms of doing business. For example, in agriculture, I think there is good opportunity for Iranian business community to invest in Tanzania because we can produce many commodities in terms of agricultural products that we are needed in Iran, so we can produce it here. And also in terms of producing chicken and meat, we are good experience and advanced. We can invest in here. Also in mining, Iran is very rich in terms of mining, good experiences in these terms. We can invest here. You are very rich in terms of mine as well, to explore the mining section in Tanzania. We can invest in food processing section in Tanzania. Also, we can exchange the commodities both sides are exporting and importing. And in terms of science and university cooperation, also, as I said, the opportunity for cooperation, providing some scholarship. Of course, we have been providing a scholarship for Tanzanian friends and youth from more than 45 years now.
Okay.
And now we are going to expand it and increase the level, because we think this year, the 40th year of anniversary of our relation, we have to open up a new page in our relation.
Correct.
In all aspects, not only in political, but also economical and cultural affairs, and especially in terms of people-to-people connection in tourism. And we hope we can manage to activate more our bilateral relations.
Excellent. We are celebrating that, and I look really so much forward to seeing what is on the table, on the picture going forward between Tanzania and Iran. Your Excellency, we're almost coming to the end of the Monday agenda, and I'm sure there's a word you've prepared for Tanzanians through the viewers of the Monday agenda.
Yes.
Please, you now have that long-awaited moment to speak to Tanzanians through the Monday agenda.
I have some words for our friends Tanzanian people in Swahili. I hope I can read it well. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Iran na Tanzania ni nchi mbili huru, rafiki na zenye uhusiano wa muda mrefu. Mwaka huu ni kumbukumbu ya miaka 40 ya uhusiano wa kisiasa kati ya nchi hizo mbili. Kuna fursa nyingi za maendeleo ya uhusiano kati ya nchi hizo mbili rafiki. Natoa pongezi kwa serikali na wananchi wa Tanzania kwa sababu ya amani na utulivu, utawala wa sheria na maendeleo ya Tanzania. Iran inasimama na kuunga mkono Tanzania ili iendelee na kukua na kujiendeleza. Iran iko tayari kuendeleza mahusiano baina ya nchi watu na serikali ya Tanzania. Nawatakia mafanikio, afya na maendeleo yanayoongezeka. Asante sana.
Oh, wow. Wow. I mean, on behalf of, I'm sure my viewers back at home are all clapping for that powerful, powerful message. Truly, thank you. And you've said it very well. I believe, Your Excellency, the little time that you have in Tanzania, you'll pick a few more words so that next time in the future you would not need to read from a document.
Yes. Once again, I want to appreciate the Capital TV for giving me this opportunity to talk to the good people of Tanzania. Iran and Tanzania had a very historical good relations, but still much more potentialities for cooperation and expansion in our relations. Mutual understanding, mutual interest already exists. The Embassy of Islamic Republic of Iran in Dar es Salaam will do its best to expand and increase our relation in all aspects, especially in terms of people-to-people connection. And I wish you all the best and success. I wanted to emphasize the government and the people of Iran consider Tanzania the good friend of Iran, and we are stood with you for your development. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And as you rightly spoke at the very beginning of the program, you've mentioned several times in the bilateral the aspects of tourism. As we've recently witnessed Our Excellency Samia Suluhu launching the Royal Tour, we believe the people of Iran will actually view that and make time to actually come and explore tourism here in Tanzania. And for me, really, is to thank you for coming to the Monday agenda with that powerful message, powerful engagement, powerful discussion. I look forward to visiting Iran, and I will certainly have my phone and update status always on so that people can really know that it is, what we've spoken. It is truly what is reflecting on the ground. I'm truly honored, as I said once again, to have had an interview with Ambassador Hossein Alvandi Behine, who is the ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Iran here in Tanzania. Truly powerful discussion we've had about the bilateral relationship between Tanzania and Iran, but most importantly, the prospects, the future that holds between our two countries as we commemorate 40 plus years of relationship between our two great nations. So for me is to say, long live Tanzania and Iran relationship, and we look forward so much to the trade relationship between our two countries as we foster economic, political, and social ties between our two countries. So for me, once again, is thank you so much. And to you, my viewers, thank you for watching the Monday Agenda. Until next time, I'm your host, Makani. Stay tuned.